Some school districts start this week, including Grand Rapids Public Schools. Your kids may be excited about heading back, but for some, going back to school brings some anxiety too. Gabrielle Pfeiffer spoke with students about the pressures they're feeling and how teachers and parents can support.
More students will head back to the classroom this week.
I know I can do it.
With that comes stress.
At what point before school starts do you really start to have some of those thoughts?
For me, at least, it was probably the beginning of August.
Yeah, mine was all summer, just because I freak out about things when I don't need to, and I get anxious about stuff.
These students at Granville High School will begin their senior year. 12-year-old Josiah Cole will start 7th grade. There's a lot about school they and their peers find overwhelming.
Some families aren't as fortunate as others, and kids kind of like to pick on that and like egg that on at school.
AP classes are a big thing. Those are the hardest classes you could take, and those can bring a lot of stress to them.
Certain stuff that's outside of school, sometimes I think about that while I'm at school. Sometimes like when it just piles up, I get like really confused.
Not having classes with people that you know is really stressful because you don't know anyone. So when you don't see someone that you know, you kind of freak out a little bit mentally.
I usually see people like, oh, if you don't have these new Jordans, you can't sit with us.
Problems like this can affect their mood and performance. Cole says misbehaviors are often misunderstood.
That's why we have like a lot of suspensions and stuff, because I feel like if the teachers would have more patience and like would understand us, like we have all this stuff going on, like out of school and in school, then maybe we would like do better.
Granville High School has a Be Nice program through the Mental Health Foundation of West Michigan. Liz Koza, counselor at the high school, says it's helpful to have a program in place that discusses mental health and teaches students how to cope.
I love it. I think it's a great way to educate students on things that they can look for, ways they can help their friends, and just kind of provides community in that they're not alone when they feel certain things.
And if it wasn't there, then a lot of kids would have it a lot worse off, I think.
Not all schools have a program like that. Counselors say you don't have to.
I guess at minimum, schools could even just educate kids.
Don't be afraid to work with your administrators to be like, hey, can we bring somebody in?
Samuel Jones owns Wisdom Center Counseling Services. He says prioritizing a child's mental health isn't just a job for the teachers. Ways children say parents can help.
I think a lot of parents are like, you need to have A's, you need to succeed in your classes, but some kids can't reach that because that's not normal for some people. By not putting as much pressure on them could help kids succeed and not have as much anxiety or stress about school.
Jones suggests parents monitor their own attitudes and expectations and get to know their child.
Your kids are different than you. They're changing. They have different priorities.
There is some individual responsibility, too.
Just know that uncomfortability is okay. It's room for growth. It's room for opportunity. And you know what? There's also someone on the other side that's been there and that would love to have a conversation with you, whether it's a parent, a mentor, a coach, and or a therapist like me.
Reporting in Grand Rapids, Gabrielle Pfeiffer, News 8.